Hello, welcome to Expansive Astrology. I'm Melissa, and it's time for Aquarius season. Time to get weird, baby. It's my time to shine. This is where my sun is. I love Aquarius. I'm biased. I love Aquarius, and I can't wait to see what unfolds for everyone this season. I can't wait to see how you embrace Aquarius, the Aquarius in you, the energy of Aquarius. I think it's a very powerful energy, and like I said, I'm biased. And let's get weird. Just kidding, kind of. Aquarius is here to serve the collective, to be a radical force of healing and change, and doing so by being their radically authentic self. Aquarius is all about authenticity, self-healing, and collective healing. You as an individual can and absolutely do impact the collective. The season is offering a way of really stepping into ourselves and effectively shaking things up and bringing our own spin to what Capricorn has so diligently and carefully helped us to craft. Humanitarian, Aquarius is humanitarian, seeks to improve the world for the benefit of all, and it does so by being itself wholly, completely itself. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing to remember that the best thing we can do is be ourselves, to be our radically authentic, weird, crazy, unique selves. I love it. Aquarius is a fixed air sign ruled by Uranus and Saturn. It's represented by the water bearer, which makes a lot of people think it's a water sign. It's not. It's an air sign. It lives in the 11th house of hopes, and the phrase is I know. The tarot cards that are related with Aquarius are the Star, and we're also going to be talking about the Fool and the World, because the Fool is ruled by Uranus and the World is ruled by Saturn. And then we'll also be talking about the Suit of Swords. That'll all happen next week, because the Swords is air energy and Aquarius is air energy. So let's break it down. This first week of the season, I always break down all of those different building blocks that make Aquarius what it is, or that make the sign what it is. That way we can have a really thorough understanding of what all is at play here, what all is going on, so that we can dive in like fully informed and ready to embrace all that Aquarius is. How to empower ourselves with this energy. So let's break it down. Aquarius is an air sign along with Gemini and Libra. The element of air is all about brain chemistry, the way that we think, mental processes, the way that we communicate those mental processes, the way that we get our points across, how we make arguments, how we share news, the way that we argue, how we communicate. The air signs tend to have a need to understand things as fully as possible. It's very like analytical and like very cognitive, very heady. Often more comfortable living in the head than in the heart. So air energy also relates to brain chemistry in terms of things like anxieties, our internal narratives that are running through our brains all the time, the way that our brains protect us, the way that we think, and how we control our actions. It's all concerned with air energy. Now, being a fixed sign, along with Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio, Aquarius is not easily swayed. It's a little stubborn. The fixed signs are like the power of fixed signs is in their ability to focus energy very deeply. The fixed signs are associated with firmness and perseverance and stability. These are the signs that provide structure. They solve problems. They lead the way. And At the same time, fixed energy is known to be pretty stubborn and inflexible. Yes. The confidence and self-assuredness, the self-assurance of fixed signs can be a gift, or it can be like asinine and rude. So just be really aware of this. That line that exists between having confidence and being very sure of yourself and being a stubborn ass. Now, the planet Uranus is all about how we invent. The planet's key phrase is drastic change. A little scary. This symbolizes both creation and destruction. Creative power. Such an energy has to be used very carefully, but it's very nature makes it hard to use it carefully. It's so innovative. It's, do we accept or reject conventional attitudes? It reminds us that the only constant in life is change, which is very uncomfortable. It's about saying yes to the soul and allowing change, being who we are no matter what. Having a willingness to change, to be unpredictable, to be ourselves no matter what, in every moment to moment, which means like being that authentic means changing our minds sometimes, and that's hard. Fun fact, when printing was first demonstrated in the 1440s and in the 1940s, when the electronic computer was invented, Uranus was in Gemini both times. And Gemini is the planet of communication. I think it lives in the third house of communication. Make sure. Yes. I love that. So Uranus rules Aquarius along with Saturn. And we talked about Saturn last season. Saturn concerns how we control things, how we structure things, our sense of sacred responsibility, obstacles, limitations, problems and restrictions that exist in our lives. It helps to remind us of the impermanence of this existence. It's a planet that assists us in identifying the ways that we can experience more structure and sustainability in our lives. It's very honest. It doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of life that exist. Saturn will come in and show you. It supports us in progressing through our lives. It's our destiny, our fate, the things that we can't control, the things that we can't escape. Provides us like support in mastering the problems that we encounter in really sustainable, effective, healthy ways. So consider the relationship between Uranus and Saturn. And that is Aquarius. That's that spunky, creative, maybe destructive energy, along with the energy of like sustainability and change and sacred responsibility, right? And we can see how Aquarius is the humanitarian energy that dreams big and wants to affect change in the world for the collective. Represented by the water bearer. The water bearer brings the most essential of substances, water, which is like life-sustaining, right? The water bearer represents the creation and giving of life. Water symbolizes truth and reflects the Aquarian desire to be of use to others in some important way. We're entering into the 11th house of hope this season. This is all about how we serve others, how we're able to expand beyond the individual and focus on the collective, the community. This is about how we befriend and engage with the world around us, the nature of our social lives, the people that we spend our time with, and the roles that we play in their lives, the roles that they play in our lives. What we give to the world, our gift to the world. Concerning like long-term dreams and goals, this house includes governing like the work that we do, the communities we're involved in, the relationships we engage with. It's the house of idealism and vision and how we show up. House of hope. The phrase for Aquarius is I know. I know. More on that later, but this is about confidence and authenticity and that sense of self-assurance. I know. What is it that you know? What do you know? I always ask little babies this. What do you know? And animals too, I think. What do you know? Because I wish I knew. I wish I knew what babies and animals know, you know? Because they don't, I imagine, they don't second guess. They just know. I love that. I love that idea. It feels so powerful to me. And we get to step into that this season. We get to step into some confidence of like, no, this is what I know. This is what I know. This has been my experience. This is what organically is and comes from me. I know. So Aquarius in its most empowered state, in its most aligned, shiny, rock star place is humane, a humanitarian. It's loving, it's innovative, it seeks equity, it's an activist, it's able to be objective and realistic, it's sociable and unique and bold and idealistic, kind of shameless, it's confident, it's friendly and quirky, it's not like other girls. I'm joking. It's assertive, it's non-judgmental and discerning. There's a difference there, big difference. It's independent and it's altruistic. That's empowered Aquarius. Now, not so empowered Aquarius, not so careful Aquarius, Aquarius that is kind of just shooting from the hip and defended and not so helpful, might look really stubborn. They can look self-righteous and arrogant, not so cute, kind of closed-minded. I wrote down arrogant twice. Aquarius is kind of known for being, all of the air signs are known for being like detached or able to detach very easily or quickly. That can be kind of a superpower, or it can be really disempowered and unhelpful, right? To be able to just detach and say, fuck it, like whatever, I'm done with that. Again, that can be like a superpower, that can be really great. And it can be avoidant and not great and asinine, stubborn, avoidant. Aquarius is kind of known for having like a God complex, and kind of intimidating or uncompromising, obstinate, too independent, and yet like putting others before itself, which might sound like a really good quality, and that can be a very disempowered quality, right? It can be cold and stubborn and tactless and insecure, attention seeking. That's disempowered Aquarius. So as we move throughout the season, just stay objective with yourself. Notice when you might be in some of those disempowered feelings or energies, and just notice it. Be like, ooh, oops, I'm not being so cute right now. And shift into a more empowered place. So if you catch yourself being really stubborn or like God complexy, catch it. Be honest with yourself. Notice it and shift into the empowered version of that, which is just confident and helpful, right? The challenge for Aquarius, the challenge for this season is to know that you are enough. You are enough. You do not have anything to prove. You have and are enough to do what it is that you are here to do what it is that you dream of doing. You are enough. And healing ourselves is how to best impact the collective. Healing ourselves has to come first. There's a tendency for Aquarius to put more focus on others or helping others where maybe it isn't needed or wanted. Be careful about that. Beware of that. Nobody wants you to step in and offer help if it's not fucking needed, right? And a lot of times people don't really need our help. Focus back in on you. Focus back in on healing yourself and showing up as yourself in the most vibrant, aligned, capable, helpful ways, rather than like shifting that focus onto the rest of the world and how the rest of the world is fucked up and you know the answers for them. Well, what about you? Let's start with you. How about that? Because your way is not the only way. This is a season to really learning how to honor people's independence, right? How do we balance knowing that our way isn't the only way? Other people have autonomy and independence, and we don't want to like take that from them or impose ourselves upon them, and yet we want to serve the collective. There's delicate balance there. How can you serve the collective and be the humanitarian you are without being a jerk, without stepping on toes? Aquarius has a tendency to call for change when it comes to things outside of itself, but it has a tendency to sit really fixed when it comes to personal experiences, unwilling to change, not allowing themselves the space to be what they are. Aquarius is able to see outside of the box, but it's not always able to see outside of its box. This can be very uncomfortable. And that's the challenge of the season. It's what we get to really engage with and explore. So some themes this season that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks are really finding and being your authentic individual self, honoring your uniqueness, embracing your weirdness. This is a time for radical authenticity. And remember that saying yes to ourselves, saying yes to the self and just like kind of living from that space usually will involve other people seeing you as eccentric. Are you comfortable with being seen as eccentric? Are you comfortable with being a little weird? What comes up for you around that? This season, we're also going to chat about like keeping your eyes on your own paper, focusing on yourself, knowing that you are enough, not comparing so much against others. And then again, like healing yourself and knowing that that is for the benefit of all, knowing that you are enough, knowing that by getting a little selfishness is not a bad thing. The definition of selfish is not inherently bad. Let me look. Oh, well, I'm eating my words. The first definition that comes up is lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. So that's not so good. But we can be selfish in a way, and I'm not going to look much further to find a quote that matches what I'm trying to say, or a definition that matches what I'm trying to say. And hear me out. Like, we can be selfish in a way that doesn't trample others out. We can prioritize ourselves in a way that that does serve our communities, our families, our the places that we engage with. Like, healing yourself is the most important, the first step to anything else that you want to do. It's the most important thing. And knowing that you are enough to be and bring and do what it is that you want to do. We just got to practice a little bit. We just got to like get there, and you already are enough. So that's Aquarius, baby. If you couldn't tell, I'm really excited. Again, I'm a little biased. I really love Aquarius. I can't wait to see what this season brings. If you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what stands out to you. Let me know what you're most excited about. Let me know what you like most about Aquarius and what your understanding of Aquarius is. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you have something to add that I didn't talk about, or if you have something like a different view that I didn't mention. I'd especially love to hear that. Yeah, don't hesitate. Let me know. I will see you next week. In the meantime, take really, really good care of yourself. That's it. I will see you later. Thanks so much for being here and listening to my words. I appreciate it more than you know. I really hope that this served you in some way. I'll see you next time. Bye.